We'll start at the Pentagon. Defense Secretary Chuck Hagel painted a chilling and dangerous picture of the threat posed by ISIS militants to the United States.
ISIL is as sophisticated and well-funded as any group that we have seen. They're beyond just a terrorist group.
Well, Hagel said we, meaning the United States military, must prepare for everything, adding that ISIS poses a long-term threat, and they do expect the group to stage a new offensive in northern Iraq and northern Syria. The Pentagon and White House, of course, are considering sending more troops into Iraq. Also in the Mideast, new this morning, Gaza gunmen kill 18 suspected spies from Israel. The number includes 7 who were shot and killed execution style behind a mosque after midday prayers. The killings come after top Hamas leaders were killed during targeted Israeli airstrikes yesterday. Israel's intelligence services depend on those informers to pinpoint the location of Hamas leaders. Hamas also just admitted to the kidnapping and murders of 3 Israeli teenagers, which occurred at the onset of the recent violence there. Now in Ferguson, Missouri, the National Guard is packing up and leaving today. There were even less people in the streets protesting last night, but tension in the small community appears to be easing after nearly 2 weeks of demonstrations and violence. This week, Attorney General Eric Holder also visited that small suburb where an unarmed man was shot and killed by a police officer. Holder met with the FBI and talked about his personal feelings and connection to this case. Also in St. Louis today, there are new questions about a different police shooting less than 4 miles from Ferguson. The police department has now released this cell phone footage, which shows the suspect approaching just before they opened fire. The police arrived and they said that man was moving towards them with a knife, telling them, "Shoot me now, kill me now." Previously, St. Louis Police Chief Sam Dotson said the suspect approached police with an overhand grip. Although it's tough to see that in this particular video, the officers involved in that shooting remain on administrative duty pending the investigation. And in Kentucky, 4 firefighters are recovering today after an ice bucket challenge went terribly wrong. 2 remain in the hospital. 1 is in critical condition with severe burns. They had just finished dousing cold water on a local college marching band when the fire truck's aerial ladder got too close to a power line, arcing and then shocking the firefighters. None of the band members were hurt. And in Connecticut, an arms factory went up in flames, a drone capturing the footage here as firefighters battled the 4-story blaze at the old Remington Arms factory in Bridgeport. Firefighters can be seen there trying to battle this blaze. And of course, this is where ammunition was once manufactured. A little scary there. Local firefighters are still investigating the cause of that fire, but they have not ruled out arson. And right now we want to turn our attention back to ISIS and the reaction to that gruesome beheading of American photojournalist James Foley and the failed mission to rescue him and other hostages. Defense Secretary Chuck Hagel and the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Martin Dempsey, held a joint press conference yesterday and spoke out about that failed mission.
The mission was executed flawlessly after a significant period of preparation and planning and rehearsal. And it turned out that the hostages were no longer at that location.
Well, JD, the Pentagon has defended releasing the details of that case. They said they were pressured to do so because the press was going to release it anyway. But obviously, the problems with leaks continue at the Pentagon and throughout the administration.